So, like we always do, we're browsing the AIagentstore.ai webpage today.
Yeah.
And I found something pretty interesting for the Ruby developers out there.
Yeah, definitely a really cool find.
It's called Sublayer. Usually, we think of Ruby on Rails as this very structured manual framework. You hand wire everything yourself.
Right, exactly. It's very hands-on.
But Sublayer kind of injects these autonomous AI workflows directly into that ecosystem, which is just wild.
It really is. I mean, it's an open source, model-agnostic Ruby gem. So instead of just treating AI as like a chatbot bolted onto the side, Sublayer actually provides the architectural glue. It lets developers build generative automations right into the core of their existing apps.
So to understand how this works, we need to look at its three main pieces, right? Generators, actions, and agents.
Those are the building blocks.
And I like the restaurant kitchen analogy for this. So generators are basically producing the recipes.
Right, the raw instructions.
Exactly. And then actions are the line cooks executing those instructions, searing the steak or fetching data. And the agents are the executive chefs routing the whole thing.
What's fascinating here is just the sheer level of autonomy those agents have.
Okay, unpack that a bit. How does the data actually flow? Is the agent just like passing a raw text string from a generator over to an action?
No, well, it's actually much more structured than that. A generator interfaces with the LLM to output highly specific formatted data.
Like pure Ruby objects.
Exactly, yeah.
No.
And then the agent takes that object, evaluates the current state of your system, and decides which action to trigger next.
Oh, I see.
And that action performs a side effect. So, querying a database or making an API call, and it returns the real-world result.
Okay, so wait. If the agent is running this continuous loop, evaluating states, triggering actions, what happens if it makes a mistake?
Right, that's the big question with autonomous agents.
Because, let's look at the automated test-driven development bot we saw on the page. If the LLM is writing the tests and writing the code to pass those tests, isn't that just a massive circular logic trap?
You would think so, yeah.
I mean, it could just hallucinate a test that automatically passes and call it a day.
Well, that's where the strict separation of generators and actions becomes super crucial. The LLM isn't verifying its own work in a vacuum,
Oh, right.
The agent uses a generator to write a test based on your feature request. But then an action actually runs that test in your real Ruby environment using something like RSpec.
Ah, okay. So the execution environment provides the actual ground truth, not the AI.
Precisely. Yeah, if the RSpec action returns a failure, the agent reads that stack trace, passes the error back to a generator to rewrite the code, and tries again.
Wow.
It just iterates autonomously until the test actually goes green. It relies on the rigid rules of the Ruby compiler to keep the LLM honest.
That completely changes the dynamic. It's not just generating a wall of code and hoping it works.
Yeah. Right, it's interacting with the runtime itself.
And, because Sublayer is model agnostic, you aren't forced to send all your proprietary code to a closed source API to do this.
Yeah, exactly. You can plug in local models using LlamaFile or Llama.
Which is great for privacy.
Oh, absolutely. If you're building a feature that touches sensitive user data, you just run a smaller local model to handle the logic. That data never leaves your own servers.
And the agents don't even care where the intelligence comes from.
Exactly. They just orchestrate the workflow. Whether it's an LLM-powered Rails voice chat or that TDD bot, they just run it.
So what does this all mean for developers? I mean, it seems incredibly powerful for technical founders who want to add AI agent workflows.
Yeah, and it removes so much friction because it's just a completely free open source gem. You just drop it in your gem file and start building.
Right.
But, it does force us to rethink our roles.
How so?
Well, think about it. If lightweight self-assembling agents are already capable of autonomously monitoring systems, writing test-driven code, reading stack traces, and fixing their own errors, how fundamentally will the daily routine of a software engineer change in the next few years?
That is wild to think about.
Are we still going to be writing the raw code? Or simply managing a kitchen full of AI chefs and just tasting the final dish before it goes out?
That is definitely something to chew on next time you fire up your code editor. To explore this framework and see what else we're tracking, you can head over to AIagentstore.ai.
Definitely check it out.
Thanks for listening, everyone, and a huge thank you for rating the podcast. We truly appreciate your support.